Hey everyone, it's James. It is May 30th, about 5:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the 4-hour chart of Bitcoin, BTC, USD on the Bitfinex exchange. This is not investment advice. And basically, if you saw yesterday's video, you know I was in a trade. I did get profit stopped out today based on the move downward. I thought we were generating something differently. But instead, what it looks like is Bitcoin has not yet found the bottom. We'll see. It's yet to be determined. It's still premature. We have the rest of tonight and then into tomorrow morning for Bitcoin to, finalize whether this is going to be the bottom here or if we need to dip down a little bit lower, okay? So that's what I'm waiting for. Now, if you've seen my prior videos, I've talked about this green line. As long as Bitcoin holds above the green line is currently around 6,900 on Bitfinex, okay? As long as this line is held, we still have the uptrend intact. And if you've watched my videos, it's a very subtle uptrend, which means it's going to take longer for price to move up, even though we are in an uptrend. So, and you can kind of see that. I'll go real quick. We have the arches that I've talked about in my prior videos, and I talked about potentially making another arch like so, and then just kind of grinding our way to a horizontal plane to build that energy. And where that's coming from, I believe, is since we experienced the bubble phase here, we've now started to reach a point of normalization, and normalization requires time to rebuild that energy the market needs in order to go higher. It's not the end of the market. It just means it's going to require time and energy so the market can push back up, okay? I talked about in my last video how I did not believe that price would break back above 9,990. Now, if we base out, right, and we build a nice solid base in Bitcoin, that's going to change my view on that, okay? So if you remember from the last video, I talked about being about 60% bearish, 40% bullish based on what I was seeing. As long as we hold the green line, okay, and we're making a series of higher lows, and we form a solid base in Bitcoin, then I think we could provide the energy necessary to break above 9,990. But if we dip below 6,900, that analysis is completely negated, okay? The first line of resistance for Bitcoin that Bitcoin is going to have to break beyond is the simple downtrend red line we see here. It's very simple, but what it's telling us is that sellers are in control of the market. Until this line is broken, then sellers are going to remain in control of the market. Now, we still have a lot of space here, okay? So it could take time. It's going to take time for price to move toward this red line. That red line, depending on where we hit it into time and space, could be about 7,500, possibly up to about 7,600. So right within that zone is the breakout area from this red line. Now, if we start to head lower, breaking below this low, then obviously that number is going to get smaller. So I do not trade off specific numbers, only for my stops, but I trade off my lines, and I wait for price to break these lines and to tell me a different story, okay? And right now, the story is selling pressure. And you can visually see that as we zoom in on the chart, right? So as you look at this chart, you can see the tops, and you can see the downtrend. So it's telling you that, hey, guess what? There's more sellers in the market than there are buyers. But that's pretty much it for today. If you want like a much more in-depth analysis, I think you'd have to go back to about the May 27th, where I really talk about the bigger picture, everything. I don't want to drag this video out and rehash it because I know a lot of my subs are watching this and they don't want to hear the same thing over and over again. But that's basically what I believe Bitcoin's doing. It's still searching for the bottom, and we could see that from the clear sell-off we had today. There's been no quick reversal of this sell-off, so I do think it's going to be a continuation to the downside. The question is now, do we find support? So I thank everybody for their time, everybody for their support as well. If you do like the video, please like, subscribe, follow, comment, let me know how I'm doing. If you do ask a question, I'll try to get back to you, but I'm extremely, extremely busy. Also, If you've not joined the Slack channel, it's absolutely free. There's over like 340 members now all over the world. People share their opinions, news, their own charts. It's just a really nice, friendly environment where to meet like-minded people that are interested in cryptocurrency, okay? You can find the link to my Slack channel at geometriccharts.com. At the bottom, there's my social media links and the link to my Slack channel, okay? If you want something more in depth, like you want to know what my trades are, like I told you I entered in that trade and I talked about it in the prior video. We did enter and I did accumulate quite a lot in this area. It was a good ride. I got profit stopped out, but if you want something like more in depth like that, to where I'm talking about my own trades, stops, and etc., I do have a subscription service, and that's also at geometriccharts.com. But again, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a great night, great day, depending on where you are in the world, and I'll talk to everybody tomorrow.